and he bought the license, and he is, so I understand, looking for a place to open, but he wants to own his property. He does not want to lease his building. He wants to own it. And there's quite frankly there's nothing for sale, including Ivanka's.
Right. Okay.
He would love nothing better than to buy Ivanka's,
Right.
or the Red Barn, we'll call it.
Right.
But there's nothing available to buy
Interesting. Okay.
in Wyckoff. So he continues to look. He continues to have his license as a pocket license, and he continues to look. So,
how many licenses does Wyckoff have? I know there's varying degrees of liquor.
Oh God.
Okay, never mind. A tough question.
Yeah, probably 7 or 8, probably. I could put a list together in my head quickly. There's 1, 2. Aldo owns 2 is 4.
Right.
Blue Moon is 5. The liquor store is 6, and then there's 2 dormant. So there's 8 or 9.
Okay.
Okay,
We good to go, Maureen?
we're ready.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you all for attending. I'd like to call the meeting of the Historic Preservation Committee to order at 7:14 p.m. Could I have a motion to do that also? Anybody can second it. You get a prize.
I'll second it.
Oh, they all jumped in on that. How fast they jumped in with the allure of a free prize. Maureen, if you'd be so kind to read the 48-hour notice and open public meeting notice.
Please take notice that in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, the Historic Preservation Commission of the Township of Wyckoff does hereby notify the public that the meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission of the Township of Wyckoff, scheduled for 7 p.m. on June 8, 2021, will be conducted virtually using the Zoom video conferencing application and will be live streamed on the Township of Wyckoff's YouTube channel. The June 8, 2021 open public meeting of the Wyckoff Historic Preservation Commission is now in session. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting appears on our annual schedule of meetings, was sent to the Record, the Ridgewood News, and the North Jersey Herald and News, and was posted on the Township of Wyckoff website.
Great, Maureen. Thank you very much. Could you have a roll call of the members, please?
Mr. Boonstra,
Here.
Mr. Zmuda,
Present.
Mr. Swenson,
Here.
Ms. Constance,
Here.
Mr. Bajak,
Here.
Mr. Sestaro,
Here.
Ms. Van Emberg,
Here.
Mr. Halftek, Mr. Lynch,
Here.
and Ms. Mitchell here.
Great, Maureen. Thank you very much.
You are
Thank
very
once
welcome.
again. I appreciate your time as always. Maureen sent out the minutes from the May 11th meeting. Was there any corrections or comments anyone would like to make?
No. I think they were exceptional as usual.
As always, Richard, I agree.
Oh, stop.
Okay, hearing no corrections or comments other than how great they are.
We'll down wrap you next time, Maureen.
Well, yeah. Knock me back a peg.
I'd like to pass a motion that the meetings are approved. Can we have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Pat.
And Doug,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you, Maureen. I mean, for those who aren't aware, Maureen is working probably as much at night as she does during the day for this town. I have sat in on many a Zoom meeting, and there's Maureen for 2 hours and 48 minutes on a Thursday night, the Wednesday night with the planning board, the zoning board, our committee, and all of a sudden you add up all those evenings. That's a lot of time. So thank you, Maureen. I really
Goes
appreciate
with the
it.
territory, but thank you, Doug. I appreciate
you.
that.
Pat and Joe, if you have nothing to report on the PR front, if so, now's your time. Everything else so far looked great. The article you sent looked wonderful.
Yeah, so it's been sent to Lynn Brueggemann, and with the photos and everything a couple different times in a couple of different formats, but it's slated to be in the July issue of Wyckoff Living.
Yay.
Yeah.
Great.
And then I also sent the article to the editor of 201 magazine and told him that it was plan to be in Wyckoff Living, but in case he was interested or, wanted us to change it in some way, if his publication would be interested in printing it.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll see about that.
Okay, well, that was a great article and a great amount of work you guys put to it and did. The pictures looked great. I mean, that's exactly what we needed. Thank you.
I did 99.9% of it. So
Oh, but you
I
did
think it says my name on it, but
So,
really,
yeah. Those are joint
it was all
effort.
her.
Well, no, thank you both. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Take it when given.
I'll take it.
At that. Thank you both. No, it's a lot of work. I understand. I appreciate it, and we all do. So I look forward to seeing the article. And I think once again, this is the kind of traction.
We'll move.
Oh, Rudy.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. You're back.
Okay.
Okay, I thought we lost you there for a minute. But no, I look forward to reading the article. And once again, I my hope is that offers some traction in more areas of PR, like you said, the 201 magazine, maybe the Suburban News, or there's that I'm not sure what it's called. We get something on Friday night or Friday afternoon in the driveway. That free little. Sorry, I'm not even sure what it's called.
And then also, I know Maureen's been tracking on that as well, but we are looking at putting something into the Wyckoff newsletter, the summer edition that's coming out. And so that would be the article that we've already had in the Wyckoff Patch and in Wyckoff Living, but talking about putting that article in there.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect. On the heels of that, I didn't put it in the agenda, but it was just a quick little addendum. The township committee, and Rudy, this is more directed to you.
Yep.
We'd like to see if there's a way to put the 14 houses that are currently on the National Registry of Historic Places on the town website underneath our banner somewhere. Now,
You mean just photographs or addresses or?
I would just say the houses, the names of the homes, maybe. I mean, the addresses are public knowledge. You can put the addresses in if you want.
Right.
Also.
Okay.
But it takes a decree from the township committee to do that.
I will look into it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I know you guys have a meeting next week. Once again, this isn't time sensitive. I just wanted to mention it before I forgot again. I should have mentioned it at the last meeting and I forgot. So I wrote myself a note to remember, but if you could just bring it up, with the township members and see if, I guess Bob Shannon would be a good sounding board as far as the downfall of doing that. If there's a reason we shouldn't.
Well, yeah, and I'd also want to check with the town attorney and see if there's any liability for whatever reason to the township and putting something like that on a website that the township owns.
Right, of course.
So I would want to do that off the top of my head. But yeah, okay, I'll bring it up on
Okay, see what the pluses and minuses are, and if there are, zero negative, I think it'd be a good idea just to have it on the website. A lot of people in Wyckoff don't know these 14 houses are already on the historical registry.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't hurt to have that under our banner as far as what, this committee does. So if you could look into that, I'd appreciate it.
And I think one last thing of what we were doing, and Joe, maybe you have an update on that. We were thinking of getting started on the next house that we would feature and write an article about. And we were thinking about 131 Godwin Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's the Van Barkum house.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Right. That was one of the original homes we
I'll
wanted to look at.
I'll reach back out to Jack and set something up.
Okay.
Seems like he's traveling all over the place, but I don't know when he's going to be back, but I'll reach out to him.
Okay, because that's a beautiful home.
to get it set up.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous home. And, once again, people own these homes. They know what homes they own.
And I think Deneen has offered to do the photography again. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah, she was happy to do it pro bono, and she said she's ready for the next one.
Great.
Fantastic.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure her pictures get credit when available.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did.
article.
We did. Yep.
Yeah, we put it in the article, and yeah.
You can't buy that kind of goodwill if she's going to do it a second time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Okay, guys.
Oh, she was like honored to be a part of it. It was
Good.
nice. So.
Okay, great. Well,
That's
thank you.
wonderful.
Yeah, great. Okay, moving along. Going back to the 14 homes, I had sent out that original listing and arbitrarily assigned homes. once again, if you see a home you like that you have more historical backing on or know more about, call that person, ask to swap out. Nothing is etched in stone. I mean, even the 2 homes I took, I did the one already. I'm already done or almost done with the other one.
Could I swap with that one for you, Doug?
Which one?
One you did?
Touche. Touche. I think I'm going to keep that one. Sorry. You're stuck with yours.
Nobody
But,
likes a wise guy, Richard.
Just always very quick-witted. But
Not
once
necessarily
again,
logical.
we're not reinventing the wheel or the mousetrap here. I said earlier, if people want to give me a call or email me, set up a time, I'll be more than happy to show you what websites I looked at, how you get to them, where you click, how you enter the information. It's pretty simple with these homes. Once you go on that National Historical Site and the 14 homes of Wyckoff are listed, you go under the date listed column. There's a hyperlink underneath it. You click the hyperlink, which is the National Park Service number for that house, and opens up the original plan. Those plans are also on those 2 different big handouts I mentioned, the 1982-83 Historical Site Survey and the 2000 Historical Site Survey. One of those will have the plans for the house. It'll have the original write-up.
I'm having a hard time finding those. You had sent us the link, but when I clicked on it, it said the folder was empty. And then I've been at night sitting on my laptop trying to find these surveys from 1983 and 82 and 2000.
Well, you won't find them in the public domain.
I mean, Library of Congress, Bergen County. I've been everywhere.
I had gotten, Richard had given us a copy or given me a copy when we first met via Bob Shannon. I was actually in my New York City office. I have a massive printer there. I pressed print and up popped hundreds of pages on that printer.
Oh, okay.
I walked away with a stack that big and nobody was the wiser. I try that with the printer back here. The police department and the fire department will be here because I'll probably set the house on fire. It'll burn up so fast.
Yeah.
So I may not have, and there is so many pages, I can't scan them from home.
Yeah.
There's hard copy in the library.
In the Wyckoff Library?
Yes.
Okay.
Bingo. I mean, I will once we hang up and tomorrow, Maureen, I will go back and look at what I sent, see what the link was, re-verify that link, and see if maybe because that was a county website. That folder was a county folder. It was a Dropbox. If you're familiar with a Dropbox,
right.
Yeah, I was able to open it. So I mean, I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying to say it was user error, Pat?
No, maybe.
Is that what you're trying to say, Pat?
No.
Could be.
At the time I looked at it.
I think Elaine Gold last year digitized it and put it online. It was not available before that.
You know what, Richard? I'll look. I can even call Elaine. Maureen, I'll look.
I can go to the library. That's fine.
Well, it's easier online.
Yeah, if you can tell me where to find it, online, that would be good.
I'll look. I'll look for it. So, okay.
Doug, perhaps you could just redistribute the link for that.
I'll try that. I mean, I'll recheck the link and see if it works here.
Exactly.
And then if it does work, because I'll send it from one email to another and open it up on my other computer. And if the link works, I mean, it's worked for Pat, but that doesn't mean it works for everybody. So
Forward it.
we'll move on.
Doug, can I interrupt you 1 second?
Of course.
Doug, I have a stop around 7:30 or 7:35.
Okay.
Primary day, and I have other responsibilities.
Yes.
Okay. So if there's anything else on the agenda that you want to cover in the next 5 or 8 minutes with me here, now's probably the time to do it.
Okay, thank you. The only thing I was going to talk about, but Joe H. isn't present, was the CLG, that Certified Local Government discussion. You had done the road work initially and got the okay from the Township Committee. You and I had spoken. Right. I'd mentioned that there was no fee involved. It's free. All it is paperwork. I was going to poll Joe and see what his thoughts are trying to work on that currently, say over the summer, or kind of put a soft hold on it and then, pick it up again in September when everything kind of gets back up to speed. And I just wanted your thoughts on what you think the township committee would think. What would their thoughts be if you could do that?
Well, like I said to you, Doug, the township committee is in favor of it. At this point, we just don't want to put any more work on our staff in town hall because
Got it.
we're,
Yep.
okay. Especially Bob Shannon, and he's the one whose desk usually these things fall upon. So,
Right.
so anything that any of the commission members would be can work on over the summer, I don't see a problem with that. I really don't.
Right. Okay.
We have also, the township committee has also reduced our number of meetings over the summer.
Got it.
We're going to
Yes.
we're just going to have one meeting in July and August, and we're going to look at September. So it's going to be a slow summer anyway. So if anyone wants to work independently on it, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of the thought process I had was we would do most, if not all of the groundwork should be done by our committee. There's very little that we can't get, ourselves.
Right.
The township, via the planning board would have to look at the documentation, verify the document. And this may be a Bob Landell thing, and the Bob Shannon thing. But pretty much it's upon our committee to fill out the documentation, verify it at least as well as we can, and then present it to you guys. And pretty much once you guys have it from us, it's a quick see if the I's are dotted and T's are crossed from your end. And quite honestly, the mayor signs it and sends it to the state.
Yeah.
And that's it. But okay, I will take that advisement.
I'll mention it. The meeting is next week.
Yeah.
I'll mention it, and if anyone raises a concern, I'll pass it back to you, but I don't see that it would be.
Well, I'll be listening into the meeting. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That was the only discussionary item I had.
You can come join us. We're live. But you can
that's right.
Wow.
You're right. I may just stop in.
Yep.
I'd be more than happy to work on that.
Well, it's going to take a lot of people, I think. I was going to ask Joe what his thoughts were.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parts to it. And I didn't want to have it kind of get in the way of getting these 14 homes. I didn't want to have a dual problem going on,
Right.
Because we'll overload the planning board, we'll overload the township committee. And, once again, the summer's here. And they've got plenty of other things to do. I was more concerned about the 14 homes than I was about the CLG.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, Rudy, if you could just see what the township committee's thoughts are on that, that'd be great. Other than that, have a good evening.
All right. Good job, folks. Thank you.
Thanks, Rudy.
Enjoy.
Have a good night, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
You
Thank
too.
you.
I'm going to listen for a few more minutes. So
Okay. Just circling back to the 14 homes. Any questions from anyone? Concerns? Comments?
When do you expect all these to be turned in as a draft so you can look at them?
Well, my planning was people would fill them out at their leisure. We've waited this long. Another month isn't going to, break the bank, so to speak. And then I was going to now send out all 14 to all of us, just so we could all look. Once again, we're our own author. We don't need one person to sit down and critique every single one of our homes. Using the township's ordinance, that 1876 ordinance 123/3, those are the parameters we're using. If that home meets those parameters, we can put it into the master plan for the historic preservation. And, once again, get the pictures off Google Earth. You can use maps, Google Maps to get the location. A lot of the stuff is already on the website. The National Park Service website, when you hit that hyperlink under the date listed, up pops all the information they have. Now, one or two of the homes didn't have much information. You may have to dig a little deeper, but that's the fun of it. But other than that, it's kind of a, take-home test. And you're allowed to cheat, so use your computers. This isn't West Point, We do have an honor system, but in this case, use your computers. Go right ahead. Okay, moving on. The CLG discussion I had briefly with Rudy there. I'm going to have to talk with Joe H. My belief or assumption is, unfortunately, that we're doing the 14 houses. We all have a lot going on, individually, personally. It's going to have to take a slow roll on that. If you happen to go back online and look up the certified local government on the county website, you'll see what it entails and you'll agree. It's a lot of work and it's kind of a one and done. You have to get it right the first time or they send it back and then you have to wait your turn the second time. So we kind of don't want to get it wrong. So I prefer not to rush into it or jump on it, haphazardly. The town's waited this long. What's another couple of months? Okay. Anybody for public comment, Maureen? I know they've been lining up.
No, we actually have a guest,
Sit correctly.
Peter Buchanan. Well, let's officially open to the public.
Yep. Could I have a motion to open the meeting to the public comment, please?
So moved.
Seconded.
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Peter Buchanan, you may unmute yourself. Would you like to speak?
Hi, I'm Peter Buckman from K9 Boy Scouts.
Oh, you're breaking up, Peter.
I'm sorry, Mr. Buckman. I was calling you.
Oh, Buckman, I'm sorry. Peter, if you don't mind stating your name for the record, spelling your last name and also your address, please. Okay.
Maureen, I'm still here. Is that Timothy Buckman from Mere Ave?
It's
Do we know?
Peter Buckman.
Okay, different person then. Okay.
Mr. Buckman, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, am I good now?
There you
Yeah, we can
go.
hear you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, if you could state your name, spelling your last name, please, and also give your address for the record, please.
Peter Buckman, Buchmann.
And your address, Mr. Buckman?
43 Dale Ave.
Thank you. Okay, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I'm from Troop 89 Boy Scouts. I was here for my communication merit badge.
Oh, okay. I used to be
I
an assistant scout leader at Troop 89 many, many years ago.
was here to take notes on like a issue at a council meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and for each point of view of like an argument.
Okay. Well, we didn't argue much, did we?
No.
Okay, well, that's good, I guess. Did you have any questions you wanted to ask us?
No.
Okay, so you're more of an observer then. We'll use that terminology.
Yes.
That's okay, not a problem. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks.
Do you,
Good.
do you need one of us to pick a fight with another one so that you can record? For the...
let the lawyers fight. They have experience.
I wouldn't want him not to get that. I was in '89, and I wouldn't want him not to get his merit badge just because we didn't fight.
Yeah. Mr. Bajak was in Troop 89. Yeah, I was an assistant scout and master under Ernie Reinitz. Of course,
Oh,
Peter,
wow.
you're too young to recognize any of those names.
No, too old.
I know.
Too old.
I'm
That's what I
trying
always
to
hear.
think of a better meeting for you to observe or listen in on, where you might hear some more like back and forth.
Alternative views.
What about
debate, yeah.
zoning board, no?
Yeah.
The zoning, the Board of Adjustment meetings are, I think, very interesting because you have an applicant that wants to do something to their home, a renovation or a demolition and a rebuild, and it's not conforming with what the township codes are. So the board will ask them all kinds of questions and give them a little pushback and say, you're trying to do too much, or maybe you need to shrink it, or so the Board of Adjustment meeting you might find interesting and get a little more back and forth. And we do have one next Thursday night, so stay tuned.
That actually sounds like a good one. That sounds like it fits that
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
perfectly.
Peter, you might get a little
into
more
that.
out of that. But
Right.
next Thursday's meeting, the information on how to access the meeting will be posted probably next Tuesday or Wednesday on our Wyckoff website. But just a little heads up, that meeting is packed full and it's probably going to go till midnight. So
Oh my gosh.
you might just want to tune in for a little while.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think you'll find it interesting.
Well, thanks, Peter. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Peter.
See you next week.
Yeah, right. Maureen will see you next week, Peter.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else, Maureen?
There is a guest,
Okay.
phone number 201-954-9181.
Sounds like my wife's number. Wait a minute.
Oh,
He's calling from upstairs.
No, it's Joe Halftek. I called in, but I was muted.
oh,
Oh, hey.
We wrote it, Joe.
The night is full of surprises.
that was on purpose.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you guys.
Sorry, Joe.
It's all right. Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't know what to say anyway, so we're all good. But
Okay.
I'm here.
Were you here for the whole meeting then?
No, I got on a little late.
Did you hear the
So I was running
discussion?
around.
Okay, did you hear the discussion on the certified local government with Rudy and I?
No, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's quite all right. In a nutshell, Rudy's going to re-ask the township committee what their thoughts are for kind of really undertaking this during the summer when they'll have less meetings. We'll have less meetings. The planning board will have less meetings. And honestly, we're working on these 14 houses currently. And I know, since I've read what it takes to get that CLG, it's a lot of work. We don't need the town to do the work. We have to do the work. So therefore, we'd have to be available, et cetera. Anybody with children, once school's over with, their whole summer explodes, and you guys fall into that category. So my thoughts are, unless Rudy comes back with a, resounding, the town wants it done now, we would probably kind of put that on the back burner. Does that sound?
I mean, listen, I'm more than willing to help out with that. It's just, we are going to need the mayor's office to just kind of help us out with certain things that, we can't do. So,
Right.
it's more a matter of, if we can do 85% of it, we're just going to need their help with that last 15% to get it done.
Exactly. But that 85% is a large chunk of the work.
Yeah. No, it's significant. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then, and until further notice, I think.
Yeah, as long as they're on board with it, we're not just spinning our wheels, then it's worth doing it. Yeah, because then we know whenever they're available and ready, we can get it finished up and submitted.
Okay, because I attended the board meeting, the township committee meeting, where Rudy had brought that up, and it got a resounding positive feedback. Their only concern was, would it cost money? And the answer is no, it's free.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to let Rudy ask him again just to be on the safe side. With the summer upon us and with the degree of work it'll take, it may be something we're going to have to kind of slowly lead ourselves into. I don't want to commit ourselves this summer and find out, we've got plenty of work with less soldiers.
Do we have a goal of getting this done like by the end of the year, or?
I've tried to look on the county website and the state website to see if there's sort of a rolling application process, or is it a definitive date? I have yet to find that out. I will find that out. That is another kind of a cog in this, is if it's not a rolling application, there may be a deadline. December 31st, September 2nd, who knows? I'll get the deadline. I'll report back to everyone, and that may kind of tell us what our time frame is.
How does this, I'm sorry, probably I should know this, but how does this impact the houses we're selecting other than the 14? Do we need to wait?
It doesn't affect any houses that we bring before the township committee. It affects our standing with the state and county government in so much as we can get grant money. And there are not that many towns that have the CLG. Mahwah, Ridgewood, and both parties, I've spoke with numerous occasions, they have gleaned massive amounts of money. because there's a law that says the county has to give away a certain percentage of their budget to this CLG.
But would we, if that all works out, we're using that to hire someone to help select homes, or should we be doing this in parallel?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the ultimate goal. Yeah,
Right.
Oh,
The
so
ultimate
like if
goal.
we,
have some assistance.
okay, so we shouldn't be doing anything to prepare continue preparing our list or anything
Not
like that at this
currently.
point.
Now we're going to work on the 14 houses first. Once again, I'm using the 14 houses as a test case. I want to see how this goes. We have to go through the planning board. The planning board has to go through their looking of what we've done to see if they agree or disagree. Then they vote on it. Then they promote it to the township committee, who does the same. I want to see how that process works. It's never been done before. I've never seen it done. I have no experience in that area. None of us do. None of us here have done that. So I'm not sure. And for each town, it's different. I just can't call the woman I talk with in Mawa and ask her how they did it. They have a whole different process. Every town's different. But, the CLG is sort of an official recognition by the county and the state that we have gone the distance. We are an official historic preservation commission, and we are looking to preserve our town. They will now allocate funds to whatever purposes will help that. And to Joe's point, the biggest part is if we could get a professional survey of our home done, of our town done, it'll save us. And quite honestly, I'd rather have an outsider point to a house and say, oh, that's historic, than myself. I have no history in historic preservation outside of serving on this committee, but yet there are firms that one can use that has that history, and I believe it'll hold up a little firmer when needed. But they don't come cheap.
Yeah.
So there is the CLG designation should and will help to get funds. And, Richard can speak to what funding will do for an organization. I'm not sure how much you guys have gotten, Richard, but you've got some good grants
Yes.
in the years. And it's helped a lot. So hopefully the CLG will help us also, once again, because there aren't many towns that have gotten it. And it's not for lack of trying. They just don't want to get it. So does that answer your question in a long format, Joe?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, moving on quickly then. We have no meetings slated for June or July.
no.
Initially,
Today's June.
excuse me?
Today is June.
Excuse me, July and August. I did write June and July. Okay. Time to retire. It's, but we don't have any meetings planned for July and August. What's people's thoughts on having at least one, if not one a month, for July and August? Yes, no, maybe. Think about it. Get back to me.
I'm for it. I mean, it's a 45 minutes Zoom. I think if it helps us move forward at all, I'm good for that.
Right, that's my thought.
I agree.
Yeah, I would
Keep
too.
some momentum. Keep some momentum going.
Right, I don't want to take 2 months off and then just all of a sudden try to pick it up again. It's, the pandemic did that for us for a year and a half now, or a year and a quarter. Unfortunately, but those are the cards we were dealt. We played them. So, but Maureen, would there be any reason why we couldn't decide to have meetings, even though they weren't originally slated on our calendar?
No.
You don't answer me now. If you want to ask Bob.
I will check with Bob.
Okay.
I will, the only thing we'll have to do is I'll have to submit a 48-hour notice to
Right.
the newspapers because it's not on our regular schedule of meetings.
Right.
And, but that's not a big deal.
Okay.
That's why they have 48-hour notices. We would just,
Right.
to pick a day and
Right.
decide, are we going to Zoom? Are we going to go?
I would say Zoom.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's some overriding reason we need to get together. Currently, I don't see that reason.
Well, I know Rudy is anxious to get all, he's not a fan of Zoom.
Okay.
And I know maybe he won't be able to join us if we have a summertime meeting or two, because like he just mentioned that the township committee actually cuts back on their meetings in the
Right.
summer.
Well, but they usually have 2 a month, so their cutting back is now to 1 a month.
Right.
Right. Okay. Well,
But-
okay. We can take that under advisement as far as meeting together or meeting via Zoom. The Zoom does work for us.
Yeah.
Works for everybody, I think. Judging by your last email about getting together in person, it didn't get a resounding yay, if I remember. I think pretty much everybody said Zoom, so here we are. But okay, if you could just check with Bob maybe, or see if you think any sort of negative reasons why we can't have a meeting in July or August, or both.
I don't think there would be any reason why we couldn't.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we'll plan on trying to do something July, August. To Joe's point, it's 45 minutes. I try to keep it under an hour. Unless we have a massive amount of public comment, which I don't feel we have. We don't need to we don't need to have to trug all the way over to Township Hall to go upstairs and have a meeting during July's heat wave.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll wait for your feedback on that then. Any other business to discuss, anyone? Okay. Well, with that in mind then, could I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? Don't know.
I'll second that.
Then I'll make the motion, Joe, so you can second it then. Perfect.
Oh, I thought somebody said so moved.
Yeah, I think Richard did.
Richard did.
Oh, okay. Poor Joe. Sorry, Joe.
All in favor?
I had a rough night on mute.
I know. Okay. Well, once again, thank you all very much. I appreciate your time, effort. And if you have any questions on the 14 homes, as far as the research, et cetera, feel free, email me. We'll set up a time. Do your own digging. Is a good way to put it.
If you could resend that.
I
link
will. No, that's on my list.
someone.
Yep. I'm going to check the link myself again. I'll send it to somebody else, have them open it, make sure it works. And then I'll see if maybe somehow your email was different. Who knows? Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm not the one saying it was user error. Okay, Maureen, just remember that.
The folder was empty. Wait, hold on. I'm going to mute my. You didn't need to hear that.
All have a great evening and a great week, and we will be in touch.